Hello and welcome once again to Pride of Anglia here with Northampton Town. The season is well underway and we currently have an Indonesian centre-back as our top scorer, which is not something I expected at any point. If this save has taught me anything, it's that you should expect the unexpected. So given that we're well in the hunt for promotion, I guess I should expect to just be sacked before Christmas. We have a lot of games to get through today, really too many, completely exposing the fallibility of the 4 months episode structure I've utilised so far. I should probably just get on with it then. Bradford City are first, and despite us taking a relatively late lead, they equalised due to some shoddy goalkeeping, so it's only a point to start things off. After the match I complete my Continental A coaching course, just the pro course to go, and then we're fully qualified. Might as well just go for it now if we can. Okay, this board is certainly a lot more agreeable than the Braintree one. Hopefully being high qualified will help us against local rivals Colchester United in the Papa John's Trophy. They of course got promoted to League 1 last season, but we have already beaten the Spurs under 23s, so... and it's just so... ugh. We go behind as Sayer waltzes through, have plenty of chances to equalise, but end up 2-0 down in much the same fashion. Despite multiple chances to score and them going down to 10 men, we end up with nothing despite the XG. I opt to fine Peter Jameson for his performance, a 6.4, which was maybe a bit harsh, but I felt he was at fault, but apparently he disagrees. The only options I have are to tell him to get over it or to back down and promise to never fine him again. And I can't make that kind of promise, I'm afraid, Pete. Should probably start looking for a replacement. Not only do I have aggravation from him, but I also have Luis Enrique up in my face because Daniel Ogwuru has barely played. Unfortunately, on his appearances so far, he's been rubbish, and Garner and Nathan have both scored, so sorry. I managed to get a match postponed due to our international call-ups, so our next game is against Newport, who we beat 4-1 last season. We go behind minutes in as Jameson gets rounded, but we strike back with Garner heading home a leveller. We look good for at least a point, but then in the final seconds of added time, Missalou thumps home a wonder strike to steal it. I do hate this game sometimes. Jameson is awful once again and I tell him so, and he gets upset, and long story short, we now really do very much need a new goalkeeper. We've somehow lost 4 home games in a row, which I think is the first time that's happened on any save on FM22 for me. Definitely means it's team meeting time, and luckily they all agree, even Jameson. Maybe it's the recording, let's just not do that for a bit. Stockport are next, away from home, and we win 3-0. We absolutely obliterate them. I have no idea what's happening anymore. I brought in Chris Leonard for Jameson and he got a clean sheet on his debut, and I put the left inverted winger role on attack duty and it seemed to do the trick. It's all very congested at the top. We're only 4 points off first in spite of our recent issues. Doncaster are currently second in the table, so I don't know how this will go. And it's another decent performance, but this time a 0-0. Can we end the month by actually winning at home though? Newly promoted Wrexham are next. A nice opening move sees Garner force a strong save from the Wrexham keeper. In the second half I bring on Campton Sturridge for Hines, who aside from the Stockport win has been terrible, and he races forward, crossing in for Garner to break the deadlock. And that is how we stay. An actual home win, and on video no less. Who knew yelling at the players and ostracising my goalkeeper in favour of an 18-year-old regen would prove so effective? We move up to third and thus back into the automatic promotion spots, and the ratings and fluidity are looking a lot healthier, apart from a left wing which is just consistently a dumpster fire. Badger and Feenley, by the way, even in the games we've lost, have always been excellent. It's worth remembering that the board only want a mid-table finish, so even if I don't think we've been especially great, they think I'm doing a bang-up job. Relegation threatened Oldham are next, and 1 step forward, 1 step back at least. We take the lead twice through the Garner and Wilson combo, and twice they equalise. Leonard hadn't conceded a goal yet, but he didn't exactly excel himself here. But it was an exciting game, so that's good at least, as the board had arranged for it to be a fan day, and it was a fair old attendance, so hopefully that boosts things going forwards. Harrogate are next up, and it would be good to win, as while we're still in the automatics, level with Notts County, we're already 9 points behind Mansfield. And despite going behind thanks to one of the worst penalty decisions I have ever seen on the game, we battle back, and Garner's 9th of the season and a free kick from Gorman gives us the win. We move up to second. I feel I've been really negative so far, but I don't know why, because as just said, we're currently second. Our FA Cup first round game is against Blythe, so a useful opportunity to give the second string a go. Gribben and Nadeson score as we get the win. Then our final Papa John's Trophy group game is against Leyton Orient, and the group could not be any more finely poised. We absolutely dominate the first half, having chance after chance before eventually Garner flicks in Declan John's cross. In the second half though, Orient come back and Denago runs through to score with some more not exactly encouraging goalkeeping from Leonard. We do have one more good chance as Garner scores, but it's ruled offside. This means, of course, penalties. And it's not a great start as Garner's effort is stopped by some kind of magic. Leonard does then make a good save, but as Maguire-Drew hits the bar, the writing is on the wall. Brookwell scores to give Leyton Orient the bonus point, and so we're out. Well, it would have been nice, but not to be. Colchester are then revealed to have a vacancy after Gary Rowett walks off to take the job at Cardiff. I'm tempted, but they're not doing especially well, whereas we're on the hunt for promotion. MK Dons have a vacancy as well, but they're in an even worse position. I would like to achieve at least something substantial at each club we manage if possible, and they have rejected us multiple times, so I think I'll pass. Can we find a level of consistency against Morecambe though? Late in the first half we press forward and an incisive pass from Wilson is clipped in perfectly by Garner for 1-0. At 1-0 we always look vulnerable though, so when Wilson adds a second 10 minutes from time, it's a relief. Oh, but he's offside allegedly. No worries though, as another great move sees Scott Pollock smash one home that can't be discounted, and we seal a 2-0 win. We currently sit 4th, but following another international induced postponement, we have 2 games in hand over some of the sides above. Our contract is up at the end of the season, and the board offer us a new deal with finally a £1,000 a week salary. I have no objections to staying into next season, so I say yes. To celebrate, we then play Carlisle and we beat them comfortably. Well, not when it was 1-1, but yes, when it was 4-1. A brace from Badger and Hines, the latter's first 2 goals for the club. And then we end the month with a solid and probably fair 0-0 draw away at Plymouth, both sides having excellent chances to win it. Last month was pretty good, but still only good enough for second in Manager of the Month. We begin what is another hectic month against Gillingham, and it's another draw. It's okay I guess, but it's frustrating as their goal was poor goalkeeping from Leonard, and then literally nothing happened in the whole second half. Our only East Anglian derby in the league this season is Stevenage. Kieran Freeman shows his quality with a fantastic punt forwards for Garner to dispatch expertly into the top corner, before the same combo works again, albeit this time from a cross from the right. Maguire-Drew makes it safe in the second half before Hines adds the gloss onto a surprisingly stress-free victory. We move back up to second with that, behind Mansfield, although it's still very competitive up here, especially as Swindon then beat Fleetwood. The chairman then apparently puts the club up for sale for real this time, we'll see. We have Bradford in the FA Cup second round, and I'd like to win, but our next 2 league games are absolutely massive, so I fully rotate, and we actually look like we're going to win, but they score a 90th minute equaliser with their only highlight of the game. Of course. And this is especially annoying as it shoves in a replay and moves the Mansfield game back in a total destruction of thematic symmetry. Ah well, we still have to play Fleetwood. And it's a big one. The first half is very quiet, save for Badger heading Maguire-Drew's corner over. In the second half we continue to dominate with Feeney's efforts stopped, but then we have the best opportunity so far with Freeman finding Garner, whose header is saved, but Hines is able to keep it in for Wilson to fire home. Matate is then sent off for Fleetwood in the only remaining highlight, meaning we stand firm for an absolutely massive 1-0 win. We move 2 points clear of them and only 3 behind Mansfield, who can only draw. It's not all good news though, as the red card challenge has injured Wilson for 2 months. Not good, as he's been great. Darren Ferguson is also sacked by Peterborough. It's quite tempting and definitely a step up, but they are bottom of the championship. I don't really want to walk out on a possible promotion to take that. And there's definitely no FA Cup miracle for us, as the second string failed to stake a claim for a first team place, with a 2-1 defeat in the replay. Grimsby are next, and oh look, another game where we take the lead and then bin it off despite dominating and hitting the woodwork. We drop back to 5 points behind Mansfield. We end the month and the year with a game against Plymouth, and as we hit the woodwork early on, I fear the worst. But we win a very soft penalty which Garner thankfully converts for his 15th of the season, before proceeding to miss an ever-increasing number of chances, even as they go down to 10 and then 9 men. But with 3 seconds on the clock, the ball falls to Kieran Freeman, who finally seals it for us. 2-0, and they didn't actually have a shot. Our victory is then met with news that Scott Parker, who replaced Dean Smith, has been sacked by Norwich. Far from the speedy re-promotion they've become accustomed to, the Canaries are in contention with Peterborough for relegation. Obviously I said what I said a minute ago about that vacancy, but this is the big one, so I don't really have a choice, I have to at least apply for it. We usher in 2025 with some New Year's honours, not from the Queen obviously, but for Kieran Freeman, who wins Player of the Month for December. Fully deserved. The transfer window is of course now open, but we can really only afford one player potentially, and we can only register one more anyway. I was thinking of a goalkeeper, but Chris Leonard is developing fairly well, so we'll see. Anyway, we have to play Stevenage again, even though we only played them last month, and after a placid first half, in the second, 2 flowing moves each come to Maguire Drew to slot home for what proves to be a comfortable 2-0 win. Shrewsbury then attempt to steal my assistant Steve Agnew, which is rude. Fabian Delph is in charge there. I offer him a new deal. Stockport are next, hopefully an easy 3 points, and nope, what the actual was that? The worst piece of FMing on the save so far. They score with their only 3 shots on target, we get an XG over 3 and yet lose at home. Our 14 game unbeaten run comes to an end in ridiculous fashion. Norwich, however, do then offer us an interview, wherein they suggest that joining them would be a sideways move. I don't think so, but okay. We also have a choice of staying at Northampton till the end of the season. I can't imagine the Norwich board would want this given their current predicament. Equally, if they were actually to get relegated to League One, that would actually be better from a career progression perspective, but I really don't know. I think I would prefer to finish the season here if we were to get it, though I think that will probably cost me the job. I go with that, but this still sounds quite optimistic. Who knows? If we do get it, we probably won't be taking Steve Agnew with us because he does choose to sign a new deal. And anyway, we have a small matter of top of the table Mansfield next. The defeat to Stockport means we're now 8 points behind them, albeit with a game in hand, so a win would be nice. And it's a game that really encapsulates the whole season. We dominate the first half, having multiple near misses, before a weird effort from Maguire Drew just goes in, but then as our fitness flags, Stockport get a prime free kick, which George Maris converts. 1-1, ugh. So close. But amazingly, Fleetwood and Swindon both go and draw, so while we remain 8 points from top, it's as you were in the rest of the automatic positions. Oh, and then apparently we actually are having a takeover, sounds like an internal one. It's all kicking off this month, and the drama continues as Manchester City recall Daniel Ogwuru. I expected big things from him, but he just didn't deliver. Fleetwood then draw while Mansfield lose to Wrexham, which might give us an opportunity, and it's an opportunity we can definitely take without distraction as we don't get the Norwich job once again, with Lee Bowyer being selected. I mean, we got closer than last year and it's more realistic this way, I suppose. Anyway, we get back on track with a 3-1 win at Newport County, Garner and Badgett of course with the goals, and we ruin Robbie Fowler's day in the process. And then we managed to get £46,000 for Dylan Connolly from Sligo Rovers, which I call a big success. If we can string a few wins together, we can definitely overhaul Mansfield, but chance would be a fine thing. 5th place Doncaster is a strong test, and it's a test we absolutely fail. Some of the worst defending I have ever seen on display as John and Badgett both utterly fail a simple header. We do next to nothing and then Freeman gets injured shortly after the final substitution, and then they make it 2-0 late on as literally no one even attempts to stop them at all. Quite how we're still in the automatic places, I don't know. Oh, and Freeman is out for a month. Fantastic. Even more inexplicable though is Peter Jameson blagging himself a move to Fulham. He hates me, so it's probably for the best, and we get £5,000. To replace him, I can't really find anyone affordable who's better than Leonard, so we get in Harry Wright on loan from Fleetwood, and to replace Ogwuru and Connolly, I opt to sign Rolando Aarons on a free. This will either be amazing or terrible. Hopefully the former, as we face Wrexham, and a win would be good to at least solidify top 3. And, well, okay. Aarons only goes and scores seconds after coming off the bench on his debut to give us a vital away win. Not bad. We end the episode with Aldershot. Can we actually win 2 league games in a row for the first time in months? Yeah, we actually can. Finally. A 3-1 win, and once again it's Garner and Badgett getting us over the line. What's more, Swindon lose, so we now have a 7-point buffer back to the playoffs. We're probably not winning the title, but promotion looks possible. We have to be wary of Doncaster though, who cut the buffer to 6 points, but Mansfield do go and lose. No takeover though, as the director buyout collapses, and Oldham decide to recall Reece Bennett, which is really irritating as he was a great backup. I sign Owen Bevan on loan from Harrogate to plug the squad gap. And there we are. Certainly felt very up and down this time. Hopefully we can see ourselves over the line next episode as long as Badger, Garner and Maguire Drew stay fit. Thanks for watching and I'll see you then.